साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to the lotus feet of Asmati Guru Pad Padma Nityala Preshtajet Guru Shishi Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and also offer obeisances to the lotus feet of Trindi Sannyasi Shishi Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji. All the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis are gathered here. Please accept my humble obeisances. So we are discussing Chaitanya Charitamrut, Adi Leela, chapter 2, text number 24. वेद भागवत उपनिषद आगम पूर्ण तत्व ज्ञान कहे नहीं जानद्र सम. Veda, the Vedas, the Vedas. Veda means knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the Vedas. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukamukhat amrita drava samyutam vivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muraho rasika vibhavka. Nigama kalpataror. Nigamas or the Vedas are compared to the desire tree. And Bhagavatam itself describes the glories of Bhagavatam. The verse number, first chapter, first canto, first chapter, third verse. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukamukhat amritadrava samyutam vivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muraho rasika bhuvibhauka. This verse I am sending to you. Please try to remember this verse if possible. But this is actually a very good verse. It is Krishna and the gopis is the main wealth of Rasik and Bhauk Bhaktas. Srimad Bhagavatam reveals these pastimes of separation. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam shukamukhad amrita drava samyutam vivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika vibhauga. Where expert and thoughtful men relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukdev Goswami, who was the parrot of Radharani. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Any fruit that is pecked by the beak of parrot actually becomes more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Even the liberated souls like Narad and Kumaras, the relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Excuse me. Okay. So here, then the next comes in the list is Upanishad. The Upanishads. Upa means near, Nishad means sit near and listen from Guru. Just like Arjuna is sitting near Krishna and listening to Gita Upanishad. Gita is also an Upanishad. Karpanya doshopahatas svabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta yash shriyasya nischandan brui tanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanno. Arjuna at least realized that he is actually afflicted by this Karpanya dosh, miserliness. What is miserliness? Those who don't understand Atma Tattva and leave this world, they are called misers. You should always try to inquire about this Atma Tattva, Paramatma Tattva, Krishna Tattva. So that is the aim and object of Upanishad. Agama, other transcendental literature. Agama. Agama and Nigama. So basically, Agamas are some great Shastras actually. Agama. The Agama Shastra says, and Agamas also describe some secrets. In Bhajan Rasya, Pratham Yam Sadhan, text 1, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the Agam Shastra state, Mayapure Bhavishyami Shachisuta. In the future, the son of Shachi will appear in Mayapur. So you see that such confidential truths also the Agama Shastras knew. So Agamas are great knowledge. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu quotes one Agam Shastra also. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first canto, the first wave, the second chapter, 101st verse, quotes the Agam Shastra. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidimvina Aikantiki Harir Bhakti Utpata Eva Kalpate. Amazing verse actually. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidimvina Aikantiki Harir Bhakti Utpata Eva Kalpate. So here, this verse is very, very important. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj also used to like this. If a person violates the rules and regulations mentioned in the Shruti, Smriti and Puranas, the Narad Pancharatra, great misgivings, anarthas are produced. And even though he may be engaged in unalloyed devotion to Hari, Ekantiki Hari Bhakti, Hari Bhakti. So basically, we have to always respect Agamas, Nigamas, Vedas, Upanishads. So that's why these Agamas, these are the scriptures. So actually, Agama, these are the great books of knowledge. So basically, we have three kinds of births. Shaukra Janma. Shaukra Janma means seminal birth, that is birth by the mother and father. The second is Savitra Janma, a ceremony in which a boy is initiated into one of the three twice born classes by being invested with the sacred fate. And number three is Deksha Janma, birth by the process of spiritual initiation. Diksha. Like my 21st September 1968 is my Shaukra Janma. I was born from the semen of my father and from the egg of my mother. So that is my first birth. That was my Shaukra Janma. Then there was also Savitra Janma. I was initiated in the Brahmin thread when I was in the 10th standard, maybe when I was 10-year-old. That was also an elaborate ceremony. But the most important Janma I had was the Diksha Janma, birth by the process of spiritual initiation Diksha, which I received in Lake Washington in America, United States, from Srila Gurudev. So even a Shudra or an untouchable person who is born in the lowest family obtains the sanskaras for being a Dvija upon being initiated in accordance with the regulations of the Pancharatra. This is the purport of the following statements in the Mahabharata, Anushasan Parva. So anyone can take Diksha, follow rules and regulations and take Diksha and become qualified to worship Krishna. He becomes a Dvija, twice born. Etaha karma phalair devi nyuna jati kulodbhava shudropi agama sampanno dvijo bhavati sanskrutaha. As a result of these activities of goddess, even a Shudra born in a low caste family becomes twice born and endowed with the Agama in the scriptures. Means even if you are not studied the Agama, you have just taken Diksha and you are chanting Diksha mantra and Hare Krishna mantra, then you are already learned in all the Agamas. Automatically in all the knowledge of the Agamas will manifest in the heart power of the Guru, Vaishnava's mercy and Diksha mantras. Bhagavan will bestow all that knowledge upon you, so have no doubt about it. So anyways, the word Agama is used so many times in the scriptures. Agamas. Agama means actually the scriptures actually. Agamas also describe the Seva Aparats. What are the Seva Aparats? Seva Aparat means to enter the temple wearing sandals, to enter the temple seated on a palanquin. These are all 32 Seva Aparats which are described in the Agamas. So Agamas are very important scriptures. Generally, in Agamas recommend many things. For example, in the process of archan, one is recommended to employ mudras, particularly position of intertwining the fingers. Like when I was in ISKCON, New York, I saw one devotee, Brahmachari, he was actually showing different mudras while worshipping the deity. Like they were showing like this mudra and this mudra and this mudra. There are different mudras actually. There's also Nyasa and all. The worship of the queens of Dwarka is also there. Meditation of Dwarka is also mentioned in the Agamas. But those are following Raganuga Bhakti and Rupanuga Bhakti. They don't have to do all these things. They are unfavorable. So anyways, Agamas talk a lot of things, but some of them are not applicable. There are different agamas. Agama Shastras. But what is our aim and object? Actually, Agama Nigama Sharanyo. Uh, Actually, in Shri Yugal Kishorashtakam, the word Agama comes. Yugal Kishorashtakam, very wonderful things he explained. Agama Nigama Saro, Srushti Samharakaro, Vayasinav Kishoro, Nitya Vrinda Manasto, Sharanabhay Vinasho, Papinastarayanto, Bhaja Bhajatu Manore, Radhika Krishna Chandro. Oh, mind, remain forever immersed in worshipping the youthful lovers Shri Radha Krishna Chandra, whose Swarupa is the essence of the Vedas. Means Radha Krishna's Swarup is the essence of the Vedas, who through the agency of their expansions perform the creation, maintenance and destruction of the material universe, who are ever fresh youths, almost touching adolescence, who are eternally situated in Yoga Pit in Vrindavan and who deliver the self-fulfillment. So, essence of all the Agamas and Nigamas is that worship Radha Krishna. Agama Nigama Saro, Srushti Samharakaro, Vaisinav Kishoro, Nutya Vrindavanasto, Shamana Bhaya Vinasha, Papina Stariyanto, Vajavajatu Manore, Radhika Krishna Chandro. Understand? So here the word Agama Nigama comes, and the essence is all that all the Vedas. Agama means all the Vedas. So Srila Gurudev is also telling that Bhagavad Gita is the nectarian essence of all Upanishads, and Krishna gave this to the world by speaking to Arjuna. But what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Nigama and Agama. Ni is short for Nishesha Rupena, and Gama means to go. This means there remains nothing left in the matter of doing to Radhika and Krishna. Regarding the word Agama, means Samyak Rupena or complete, and again. Gama means go. In this way, Agama means that scripture by following which one can completely go to Radha Krishna. Nigama and Agama then mean the same thing. So here Srila Gurudev is telling that go to Radha Krishna completely. Nishesha Rupena. So that is what the Gurudev is telling, the meaning of the word Agama. So the Agama Shastras explain the meaning of Mahamantra also. Harati Trividam Tapam Janma Koti Shatodbhavam Papam Jasmaratam Yasmat Tasmat Haririti Smrita Krishi Bhuvachaka Shabdanasya Nivritti Vachaka Tayorekyam Parabrahma Krishna Ityabhidiyate Ravanto Yogino Anante Satyananda Chidatmaniti Rama Padenaso Parabrahma Vidhiyate. These are all Mahamantra's meaning also is given in the Agam Shastra. So Agam Shastra is what they are telling. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is known as Hari because he destroys the threefold afflictions of countless births, as well as the sinful activities performed by the body, mind and words of those devotees who remember him. Krishna means all attractive and Na means joyful. The combination of these syllables refers to Sri Krishna, the all attractive Parabrahma. Yogis on the transcendental platform derive great joy by meditating upon him as the infinite form of supreme bliss, Nityananda Swarupa, and as he who has a transcendental form, Chinmay Swarupa. For this reason, he is called Rama, the supreme enjoyment. So this is all why Krishna is called Hari, Ram and Krishna. This Mahamantra has these three syllables, Hari, Ram and Krishna, that is described in Agama Shastras. Such important actually. But this particular definition of Mahamantra is Aishwaryamai, full of mood of awe and reverence and opulence. So anyways, and then actually Agamas were distorted by Shankaracharya. That is Agamas in Padma Purana Uttarakhanda and Nag Panchayat it is told. Shri Mahadev, who was the supreme Vaishnava, was at first somewhat reluctant to accept such an arduous task which Bhagavan had entrusted him. However, considering this to be his order, he therefore preached the Mayavad philosophy, where is the fault of Sriman Mahadev, the supreme a guru in this. The entire universe functions smoothly like a well-oiled machine under the guidance of Bhagavan, who expertly wields in his hand the splendid Sudarshan Chakra for the well-being of all creatures. Only he knows what auspiciousness is hidden in his order, and the duty of the humble servant is simply to obey his order. Knowing this, the pure Vaishnavas never find any fault in Shankaracharya, Shiva's incarnation, who preached Mayavad. Listen to the evidence from the Shastra for this. Tvam naradya tatha shambho grahishyami varam sada dvaparado yuge bhutva kalaya. So this is actually the order. Means Lord Shiva has been ordered by Lord Krishna to preach distorted, concocted, speculative philosophy. So he says, Tvam aradya tatha shambho grahishyami varam sada dvaparado yuge bhutva kalaya manushadishu swagamai kalpitastvamcha janan mat vimukhan kuru. Janan man vimukhan kuru. Mamcha gopaya yena syat srushti reshottarottara. So Padma Puran, Narad Panchatra says that Vishnu said, "O Shambhu, although I am Bhagavan, still I have worshipped different devatas and devis to bewilder the asuras. In the same way, I shall worship you as well and receive the benediction. In Kali Yuga, you should incarnate amongst human beings through your partial expansion. You should preach from Shastras like Agama and fabricate a philosophy that will distract the general mass of people away from me and keep me covered. In this way, more and more people will be diverted away from me, and my pastime will become all the more valuable." So this is Shankaracharya. It distorted the meaning of agamas. But these agamas are also there. You see in Navadvip there is Vriddha Shiva and Prouಢa Maya. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also mentions this word agama, and he says that like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once he talked to Sri Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya came to Navadvip Dham. Sri Shankaracharya was preaching Mayavad, and only to follow the order of the Supreme Lord, when he came to the city of Nadia, Sri Gaurachandra appeared to him in a dream and mercifully spoke to him with sweet words. "You are my servant. You are diligently preaching Mayavad to fulfill my order. Ei Navadvipadhamma mama priyate eta Mayavada kabur na paive gati." However, Sri Navadvip Dham is most dear to me, and therefore Mayavad cannot be preached here. Vriddha Shiva heta prouಢa maya jare laya kalpita gama gane tena pachariya mama bhakta gane dvesha kore jai jana tare kevala teha kare na vanchana. Here Vriddha Shiva along with prouಢa mayas spreads a false explanation of the Agama scriptures. They only preach those who have expert devotees, because their sole purpose is to deceive these people. So basically, Agamas are sometimes Vriddha Shiva and Prouಢa Maya also preach false explanation of Agama scriptures to those who are envious of the devotees. But those who are loving the devotees, Shiva will never deceive them. So therefore, Rupa Goswami also has given us the in Sri Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, Sri Rupa Goswami says that he is telling that I have collected this book from the Agama Shastras. He is actually giving a verse here about all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the associates of especially Radha Krishna, they are mentioned in this book. So in this he says, Ye suttita sataratya prasiddha shastralokayo vyakriyate parivaraste vrindavanathayo Mathura mandale loke granteshu videshu cha Purane chagamadau cha tadbhakteshu cha sadhusu te samasa vilikhyate swasrut paritushtate Anupurvi vadhanena rati prathita vartmana. I, Rupa Goswami, I gathered all the well-known information about the associates of Sri Krishna and Srimati Radhika, the king and queen of Vrindavan, that is available in the area of Mathura, in histories told by general people from generations to generation, in various scriptures such as the Puranas and Agama Shastras, and in the knowledge gathered by the devotees currently in the assemblies of sadhus. Based on this information, I will systematically and concisely describe the different groups of the eternally perfected residents of Raja, as is favorable for the path of Raga. I am doing this for the pleasure of my well-wisher, Sri Sanatana Goswami. May an attachment for Sri Radha, Sri Krishna and their associates awaken everyone by this description. So he also referred to Agama Shastras when he was explaining the meanings of the names of all the associates of Krishna. Agama Shastras are so important. Rupa Goswami also referred to them with other evidences. So, Agama Shastras are very important. And next, we are reading that Purna Tattva, full truth, Janre unto whom kahe, they say, Nahi, there is not Janra who's someone equal. The personality of Godhead is he who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas. Bhagavan is called the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam and Upanishads and other transcendental literature. No one is equal to him. There are innumerable authoritative statements in the Vedas regarding the personal feature of the absolute truth. Some of them are as follows. From Ruk Samhita 1.20.20. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshura Tatam. The personality of God and Vishnu is the absolute truth, whose lotus feet all the demigods are always eager to see. Like the sun god, he pervades everything by the rays of his energy. He appears impersonal to imperfect eyes. So basically, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshur Atadam. This is from Rugved. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshur Atadam. Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshur Atadam. The divine and learned Vaishnavas always have the darshan of the supreme abode of Vishnu by their aprakrit spiritual eyes. So, Rugved 1.22.26 explains this. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshura Tatam Tad Vipraso Vipramanyavo Jagruvangsha Saminadhate Vishnu Yat Paramam Param. As eyes are capable of seeing the sun in the sky without impediment, similarly liberated Mahapurushas always see the supreme abode of the Parameshwar Vishnu. Just like we see the sun with naked eye without any help. Similarly, the pure devotees, great Mahapurushas, see the spiritual world also and the lotus feet of Vishnu also. The sadhus who are devoted to Bhagavan and who are free from defects such as the tendency to be mistaken or deluded preach everywhere about the supreme abode of Vishnu. So you see that some people say that Vishnu, Ganesh, Durga, Kali, Shiva are all one and the same. There is no fundamental or intrinsic difference between them. They are different in name only, and the result of worshipping all of them is the same. However, this account is not again in agreement with Shastra. So basically, we should worship Vishnu. Vedas describe the Vishnu. Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam. Sada Pashyanti Surya Diva Chakshur Atatam Vishnu Paramam Padam. So, from the Naradiya Narayana Atharva Shirsa Upanishad, this again says, Narayanat eva samutpadyante, Narayanat pravartante, Narayanat praliyante, Ata nityo Narayana, Narayana evedam sarvam yat bhutam yacchayo bhavyam, Shuddho deva eko Narayana dvitiya asti kaschit. It is from Narayana only that everything is generated. For him only that everything is maintained, and in him only that everything is annihilated. Therefore, Narayan is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Narayan, who is the unadulterated deity. There is only Narayan and nothing else. So this is actually Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained this same purport actually. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Rajendra Kumara. Kumara Ichaya Mate. Sujana Samhara. This particular song, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Tumi Sarveshwareshwara. Brajendra Kumara. Kumara Ichaya Vishwe. Sujana Samhara. Tava Ichamato Brahma. Korena Srujana. Tava Ichamato Vishnu. Karena Palana. Tava Ichamate Shiva. Korena Samhara. Tava Ichamate Maya. Sruje Karagara. Tava Icha Mate Jiver. Janama Marona. Samruddhi Nipate Dukha Sukha Sangatana. Miche Maya Baddha Jiva Asha Pashe Phire Tava Icha Bina Kichu Karite Na Pare Tumi Rakshakara Palak Amara Tomara Charana Bina Asha Nahi Aro निज बल चेष्टा प्रति भरोसा छाड़िया तुम्हारा इच्छाय आछि निर्भर करिया भक्ति विनोदति दीन किंचन तुम्हारा इच्छाय तार जीवन मरण. O youthful son of the king of Raja, you are Lord of all lords. According to your will, creation and destruction take place in the world. According to your will, Lord Brahma creates, and according to your will, Lord Vishnu maintains. According to your will, Lord Shiva destroys, and according to your will, Maya constructs the prison house of the world. According to your will, the living beings take birth and die, and according to your will, they meet with prosperity and ruin, happiness and sorrow. The tiny soul, bound up by Maya, vainly struggles in the fetters of worldly desire. Without your sanction, he is unable to do anything. You are my only protector and maintainer. Except for your lotus feet, there is no other hope for me. No longer confident of my own strength and endeavor, I have become solely dependent on your will. Bhaktivinoda is most poor, and his pride has been leveled. Now, in accordance with your will, he lives and dies. So, this is actually same thing. Everything comes from Narayan. Understand? That is Krishna. So, from Narayana Upanishad also says, Yataha Prasuta Jagataha Prasuti. Narayan is the source from whom all the universes emanate. Yataha Prasuta Jagataha Prasuti. And from the Harishirsha Pancharatra, Paramatma Harir Deva, Hari is the Supreme Lord. From Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th Canto, 3rd chapter, 34th and 35th verse. Narayana Vidhanasya Brahmana Paramatmana Nistham Arthata Na Vaktum Yuyam Hi Brahma Vittama. O son of the Brahmanas, please tell us of the position of Narayan, who is known as Brahma and Paramatma. Sthiti Udbhava Pralaya Hetur Aheturasya Yat swapna jagara sushuptishu satbahishcha Dehendriyashu hridayani charanti yena sanjivitani tadavehi paramam narendra. O king, know him who is causeless and yet is the cause of creation, maintenance and annihilation. He exists in the three states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, as well as beyond them. He enlivens the body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. Know him to be the supreme. So basically, everything coming from Narayan. We should know that everything is coming from Krishna. So Ruk Samhita proves, so many proofs are given. From Narayana Upanishad, so many places. Um, so the next verse 25. Bhakti yoge bhakta paya jara darshana surya jena sa vigraha dekhe deva gana. Bhakti yoge, by the devotional service, bhakta, the devotee, paya obtains jahara, whose darshana, sight. Surya, the sun god, jena, like savigraha, with pomp, dekhe, they see devagana, the denizens of heaven. Through their service, devotees see the personality of Godhead, just as the denizens of heaven see the personality of the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has eternal form, which cannot be seen by material eyes or mental speculation. Only by transcendental devotional service can one understand the transcendental form of the Lord. The comparison is made here to the qualifications for viewing the personal features of the Sun God. The Sun God is the person who, although not visible to our eyes, is seen from the higher planets by the demigods, whose eyes are suitable for seeing through the glaring sunshine that surrounds him. Every planet has its own atmosphere according to the influence of the arrangement of material nature. It is therefore necessary to have a particular type of bodily construction to reach a particular planet. The inhabitants of earth may be able to reach the moon, but the inhabitants of heaven can reach even the fiery sphere called the sun. What is impossible for man on earth is easy for the demigods in heaven because of their different bodies. Similarly, to see the Supreme Lord, one must have the spiritual eyes of a devotional service. The personality of Godhead is unapproachable by those who are habituated to speculation about the absolute truth in terms of experimental scientific thought, without reference to the transcendental vibration. The ascending approach to the absolute truth ends in the realization of impersonal Brahma and the localized Paramatma, but not the supreme transcendental personality. Verse number 26. Jnana yoga marge tandre bhajaje sama brahmatma rupe tandra kore anubhava. Basically, there is Jnana yoga. Jnana yoga. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, and so actually, the Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he tells about something in his autobiography. One day I was returning from the office and I found a placard in Chittaranjan Avenue, Gaudiya Math Mahotsav, Grand Festival for 1 month. The address was given near the Pareshnath temple. So it's like that time he was not familiar with Gaudiya Math. So he saw a placard. So I found this red colored placard. I thought Gaudiya Math must be Mahaprabhu's followers. Let us go and see what is there. When I was a law student, through Suresh Bhattacharya, I knew the founder of Bharat Sevashram, Sri Pranavanand. And he tried his best to take me into his mission, but I flatly refused. So, my head is sold to Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, so I can't go anywhere else. He said, I also have great reverence for Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya. But I think the first stage must be Buddhistic abnegation or Vairagya. Means basically neti neti, not this, negating the material world. Material world is full of distress. So Buddhists just try to reject it. They just reject the material world and indifference to the material world. They cultivate. Second is Shankara's Vedanta or Jnana. Shankara's Vedanta is impersonal philosophy. And the last and highest will be Chaitanya's Prema. Otherwise, people will misunderstand that Prema for lust. I replied, yes, what you say is all right, that Chaitanya Deva's Prema Dharma is the highest above the Buddhistic and Shankarite conception of theism. But Chaitanya Deva has not told us, go to the Buddhist, practice Vairagya, then go to Shankaracharya and have knowledge of the Vedanta and then come to me. He has told that wherever you are, take the association of a sadhu and you can take the name. You can chant the name. So, Bharat Sevashram head, he was attracting Srila Bhaktivedanta Sridhar Maharaj. But he said, first follow Buddhism, then Shankaracharya's philosophy, and then you go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Sridhar Maharaj told him, no. Mahaprabhu has told me straight, come to me. Sarva dharman prityaja mamekam sharanam braja. Come to me. Krishna has told, Mahaprabhu has told, don't go here and there. He silenced the founder of Bharat Sevashram. I said to him, if you have got any supernatural power, I will be grateful if you can say where my spiritual master, my guide is. So he asked the founder of Bharat Sevashram, if you have any power, a mystic Siddhi, please tell me where is my guru. I am looking for guru. Understand? But he took the name of some gentleman, Haranath. I went to search for him but could not find him. But this was when I found that placard and I went to Gaudiya Math. There I found only one gentleman manning the outside hall, and the rest all had gone on procession of Nagar Sankirtan, congregational chanting in town. Then I had a little talk with that gentleman. So everyone had gone for Nagar Kirtan and only one devotee was there in the temple. I had studied somewhat about Chaitanya Deva and other scriptures, but I found that these people representing the mud had deeper and more sound knowledge than I. Then the party came back from Nagar Sankirtan and I found Guru Maharaj in front of me with his danda, mendicant and staff. He saw Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada with a staff in his hand. As soon as he reached in front of the mud, some disciple came and took the danda from him and gradually he was received there. At first sight, I found Guru Maharaj's attitude was that of complete indifference to the ordinary world. He does not care for anyone, he is self-sufficient. I got that sort of impression from his first sight. Then I began visiting. Gradually, I came to realize that I wanted to stay in such company. Unfortunately, I had been unable to find it before, but now the thought came to me. What is to stop me coming and staying here? I cast my glance homeward, father gone, mother living, 3 younger brothers, they won't be much affected, but my wife will be affected. I don't know why, but a sudden thought came in my mind that if she dies, I am free. He had a wife and he thought, if she dies, I will be free. This thought came and I was attracted to that association. There were so many members of gentlemanly and educated nature and wholly given to the service of Mahaprabhu. That attracted me most. And it was that very day I came to my quarter and found that my wife was ill. I came home that night and after 3 days she passed away. My mother tried to have me married again, but she could not do so. And within 6 months, she also disappeared in Haridwar at a time of Kumbh Mela. She died there. One of my brothers, Satyen, was attending her with other pilgrims and sisters, etc. I was free. I was visiting the mud. I was thinking, I must cast my faith here. So I thought it is necessary to know as much as possible about the mission. And to know the mission means to know the leader of the mission. So I tried to go upstairs where Guru Maharaj stayed. I would go in front of his room and sit there to hear. Because I was thinking, it occurred that Kirtananda Prabhu, when Brahmachari stopped me when I was making an attempt to go upstairs. Where are you going? I am going to Guru Maharaj. I like it very much to hear and associate. No, never. You must stay here in the waiting room. And when you find anyone, you will inform you'll inform him who you can want to meet. He will check, and when he returns with the answer, you can go. Otherwise, you must stay here, never cross this threshold. A little harsh. Then I thought, what should be the considerate nature of the sadhus? Why should there be any difference outwardly and inwardly? So I need not come here again. But at that very moment, the position of Shukdev appeared in my mind. I had read in Mahabharata that Srila Vyasadeva sent Srila Shukdev Goswami to Rajarshi Janak to finish his education on sadhana, education of sadhana. Srila Shukdev came and he was detained for 7 days at outer gate. Then information went to Janak, who sanctioned, allow him to pass the gate. The next gate, he was again detained. In this way, there were 7 boundaries of the capital, and at each of the 7 gates, he was detained for 7 days. So 7 times 7 means 49 days he was detained, and only then he could meet Janak. This thought came in my mind, and then the next concluding thought came. If there is anything bad here, then they take me and put me onto the throne to worship me. I should not come here. If there is real good and they beat me with a broomstick, I must not leave. That conclusion came in my mind and I kept visiting. Then one day Guru Maharaj was strolling on the roof just after taking his afternoon food. Generally, he did not take any food at night. I just approached and took my stand in a corner. One man was attending him and Guru Maharaj asked, has he something to say? The attending person came and asked me, have you something to say? No, I have nothing to say. He went back, he says he has nothing to say. Then Guru Maharaj said, he has something to ask. He again came and said to me, Guru Maharaj said, have you got something to ask? No, I have nothing to ask. He again returned to Guru Maharaj, he says he has nothing to ask. Then again Guru Maharaj put, he has got some purpose in mind for coming here. The person returned to me. I said, yes, without purpose, no incident can happen. When I come, I have some purpose. What purpose? To gain the grace of you all. That was my answer, nothing else but that. Perhaps that touched Guru Maharaj. He approached me and inquired from me who I was, what I did, where was my home, and so on. And then he said, yes, you are fortunate. You are born in the area of Gauda Mandal. They had one booklet printed then, and the attending person said, Guru Maharaj is offering this booklet to you. I said, I already have it. He said, that does not matter. With your goodwill, he is giving to you, so it is something else. You take it. And I took it on my head and accepted it. That was the first talk with Guru Maharaj. So you see that such a great personality, Srila Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj also, but he actually met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So Jnana Yoga Marge Tandre Bhaje Jai Saba Brahmatma Rupe Tandre Kore Anubhava. Jnana of philosophical speculation, yoga of mystic yoga, Marge on the paths, Tandre him, Bhaje worship, Jai who, Saba all, Brahma of impersonal Brahma, Atma of the super soul, Paramatma, Rupe in the forms, Tandre him, Kare do, Anubhav person. Those who walk the paths of knowledge and yoga worship only him. For it is him they perceive as the impersonal Brahma and localized Paramatma. Those who are fond of mental speculation, Jnana Marga, or want to meditate in mystic yoga to find the absolute truth, must approach the impersonal effulgence of the Lord and his partial representation respectively. Such persons cannot realize the eternal form of the Lord. So basically, only by Bhakti Yoga you can approach the personal form of the Lord. Jnana Yoga Marge Tare Bhaje Jai Sab Brahmatma Rupe Tare Kare Anubhava. Those who worship him by Jnana Marga, they can only realize Nirvishesh Brahma. And those who worship him by Yoga Marga can realize him as Paramatma. For example is given. It is not possible to have audience of Bhagavan's eternal form by one's dull material senses or by the process of Jnana Marga. Only by Bhakti Marga, only by Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotional service, the devotees can have darshan of Bhagavan. Example is given that the sun planet has a body, but we cannot see the sun god living on the sun planet by our eyes of flesh, or even by the demoniac eyes, we cannot see them. But demons and human beings cannot see the sun god. But the eyes of the demigods, they pierce the network of all the sun rays. Such powerful effulgent sun rays, they pierce, and their eyes, that the divine eyes of the demigods can see the Vivaswan, the personality of sun god. So those who are actually following the path of speculative knowledge or yoga, mysticism, they are only following the effulgence of the eternal body of Krishna, that is Brahma Jyoti, the bright light, or they are only following one plenary portion of Krishna called Paramatma. But they cannot, by Jnana Marga and Yoga Marga and other Margas, you cannot have darshan of the eternal form of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. This is the conclusion. So Jnana and Yoga, these are actually not possible to have darshan of Krishna, Jnana Marga and Yoga Marga. Only by bhakti, you can have darshan of Krishna. So bhakti revanam nayati, bhakti revanam darshayati, bhakti varsha pumsha, bhakti revai bhuyasi. Only by bhakti. Bhaktyamam vijanati yavane sveti tatvata, tato mam tatvato gyatvat vishade tadantaram. So, yogis have power. Yogis have power actually, but they cannot see Bhagavan. So actually, different types of yogis are there. But we are trying to be yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antratmana shraddhavani bhajate mam samay yukta tamomata. Yoginam api sarvesham. Bhagavan will tell also in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antratmana shraddhavan yo bhajate mam shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samay yukta tamomata. Among the fruitive workers who have material desires, tapasvis, those engaged in the performance of austerities, and jnanis, those engaged in the cultivation of knowledge, the yogi is the best of all. Therefore, Arjun, be a yogi. However, even among these yogis, those who do bhajan, a transcendental service to me, means Krishna, Vasudev, being devoted to me with complete faith, are the best of all. This is my opinion. Therefore, become a yogi like this. Become a bhakti yogi. Bhagavan is telling. Yoginam api sarvesha. You constantly performs my bhajan with full faith, always thinking exclusively of me within himself. In my opinion, is the topmost of all yogis. So is there no one then who is superior to the yogi? In response to this question, Shri Bhagavan says, don't say that. And he speaks the shloka beginning with yoginam. The word yoginam is in the sixth case, but actually it is to be taken in the fifth case. In the previous shloka, the words tapasvibhyo, jnanibhyo, adhika are in the fifth case. Similarly, it should also be understood here as yogi bhya. The bhakta is even superior to the yogi. Bhakta is even superior to the yogi. So my bhakta is superior to only one type of yogi. Not only superior to only one type of yogi, but to all types of yogis. Bhakti is superior than all types of yogis. Whether they are yoga ruda, situated in sampragyat samadhi, or situated in ansampragyat samadhi. So even those who are in samadhi, sampragyat or asampragyat, my devotees, they are superior to all these yogis. Even the highest type of yogis, my devotees are the. So basically, the word yoga in the shloka, natyashnastu yogosti, and in other shlokas means samadhi. The samadhi is of two types, namely sampragyat, in which one is conscious of the difference between knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. The samadhi is also two types, sampragyat and asampragyat. When one is conscious of the difference between knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower, that is called Sampragyat Samadhi. Sampragyat, in which no such difference is perceived. Sampragyat has various divisions, such as Savitarka argument and Savichar, philosophical research. So, what is spontaneous and what is spontaneous or Sampragyat Samadhi Yoga? To answer this, Sri Bhagwan is speaking 3.5 shlokas, beginning here with the word Yatro Paramate. When one attains Samadhi, the Chitta becomes fully detached from sense objects and has no contact with them. Because one has achieved self-restraint, Niruddha, this is confirmed in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. When the Chitta Vritti or attention is fully restrained from sense enjoyment and absorbed in the blissful realization of the self, and Paramatma, it is called Yoga. So basically, Bhakta is so much superior. Bhakta is so much superior than all the types of yogis. So verse 27, Upasana Vede Jnani Ishvara Mahima Deva Suryatanratyeta Upama Upasana Vede. By the different paths of worship, Jnani, I know, Ishvara of the Supreme Lord, Mahima, greatness, Ateva, therefore, Surya, the sun, Tandra of him, Dieta was given Upama, swimming. Thus one understands the glories of the Lord through the mode of worship, as the example of the sun illustrates. So basically, sun planet, the demigods can see, but we cannot see the sun planet. Or even the persons with demonic eyes, they cannot see the sun. The sun is so effulgent. Actually, what is the position of the Guru? The Guru and Krishna. Basically, the Gurudev is mentioned in the Shastra with an example. The Shishya is like a lotus, and the Gurudev like the water around. Just as in a pond or in a lake, Gurudeva's position is like water. Krishna is like the sun. Krishna is like the sun. And as long as the lotus is floating on the water, the sun will give life to the lotus. But the water vanishes. But if the water vanishes, that very sun will burn the lotus. Do you follow? This sort of example is given in the Shastra. I cannot exactly remember the Sanskrit verse, but such example is there. The water along with the lotus, for without water, the sun, Krishna will burn. Without the help of Guru, the disciple is nowhere. Dasa Goswami Prabhu, the Prayojan Acharya of the whole Gaudiya philosophy, spiritual system, has also remarked that Yat Punjayate Punjam Rudayate, that a python is coming. After the departure of Shri Gurudev Rupa Sanatan, that Govardhan hill, which is the representation of Sri Krishna himself, it seems to me just like a big python is coming to devour me. And Radha Kunda is the holiest place of the divinity of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, like a tiger's mouth. It is coming to devour me by the separation of Gurudev. So much excitement is there given to me about the absence of my Gurudev. My dearest and my highest guardian, spiritual guardian, who has the most intense affection for me to nurture me for spiritual purpose. He is not there. How can I tolerate that everything is gone? All vanishes with his departures. Such sort of deep sense of separation will come. And where is Bhavananda? Is he here? So Shila, what happened when Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj disappeared, then all the GBC members went to Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj to meet. And there he was explaining the Guru Tattva. Jayapatak Maharaj asked him, after the departure of our beloved spiritual master, we came to offer our respects to you as well as to hear your very esteemed Upadesha on certain matters, if you would be kind enough. Srila Maharaj was explaining. He was quoting from Jayadakyan Samhita. Jayadakyan Samhita, actually, this verse is very much quoted in Gaudiya Kantahar. And he was quoting this verse, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Maharaj, quoting a very important verse. that shoshayate na poshayate. That the lotus will bloom only when the sun is in the sky. But suppose that lotus is not in the water, then lotus will wither due to the intense rays of the sun. So generally the lotus will bloom by the power of the sun rays. When the sun rises, lotus will bloom. But only if there is water. The guru is like water. Without water, the the lotus, the disciple is comparable to the lotus will wither. And Krishna is comparable to the sun. So there are three analogies here. Krishna is comparable to the sun, Guru is compared to the water, and disciple is compared to the lotus. So lotus will not bloom in the sun if there is no water. Only when it is situated in the water, only when Guru is helping him, Krishna, he will be able to receive Krishna's help. Without Guru, he cannot even receive Krishna's help. So this very nice thing, nice verse he actually quoted in Srila Bhakti Rakshak Maharaj. So the point here is that thus one may understand the glories of the Lord through different modes of the worship, as the example of the sun illustrates. Say Narayana Krishna Swarupa Ved Ekahi Vigra Kintu Akara Vived. Say Narayana, that Narayan, Lord Narayan, Krishna of Lord Krishna, Swarupa, original form. Aveda, not different. Ekai, one Vigraha, identity. Kintu, Akara of bodily features, Viveda, difference. Narayana and Sri Krishna are the same personality of Godhead, but although they are identical, their bodily features are different. इहो तद्विभुज तिहो धरे चारि हाथ इहो वेणु धरे तिहो चक्राधिक सातो. Iho, this one, Dvibhuja, two arms. Tiho, he, Dhare, manifest, Chari, Hata, four hands. Iho, this one, Venu, flute, Dhare, Tiho, he, Chakradika, the wheel, etc. Sat. The personality of God is Sri Krishna has two hands and holds flute, whereas the other Narayan has four hands with conch, will, mace, and lotus. Narayan is identical to Sri Krishna. They are in fact the same person manifested differently. Like a high court judge who is differently situated in his office at home. As Narayan, the Lord is manifested with four hands, but as Krishna, he is manifested with two hands. Understand? So, very famous shloka comes, Siddhantasta Vedepi Shisha Krishna Swarupayo Rasena Krishyate Krishna Rupa Mesha Rasasthiti. Siddhante bhi Abhadevi. But Krishna has more rasa. Rup Madhuri, Guna Madhuri, Lila Madhuri. So this is to be understood. Shisha Krishna Siddhantasta Vedepi Shisha Krishna Swarupayo Rasenot Krishyate Krishna Rupa Mesha Rasasthiti. Although in Siddhanta there is no difference between Sri Krishna and Sri Narayan, from the point of view of rasa, the form of Sri Krishna is superior. This is the glory of rasa. So this is also explained. There is some difference. So Krishna has two arms and Narayana has four hands. And then Narayanastam nahi sarvadehinam atmasi adhishakila lokasakshi Narayano angam narabhu jalayanat tachapi satyam na tavaiva maya. Narayana, Lord Narayan, from you, no, not he, certainly, Sarva, all, Dehinam of the embodied beings, Atma, the super soul, Asi, you are, Adhisha, O Lord, Akhila Loka, of all the worlds, Sakshi, the witness, Narayana, known as Narayan, Angam, plenary portion, Nara of Nara, Bhu, born, Jala, in the water, Ayanat, due to the place of refuge, Tat, that, Cha, and Api, suddenly, Satyam, highest truth, no, not Tava, your, Eva, at all, Maya, illusory energy. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father Narayan? Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. And that Narayan is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. So this statement, which is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 Canto 14, chapter 14 verse, was spoken by Lord Brahma in his prayer to Lord Krishna after Krishna had defeated him by displaying his mystic powers. Brahma had tried to test Lord Krishna to see if he were really the Supreme Personality of Godhead, playing as a cowherd boy. Brahma stole all the other boys and their cows from the pasturing grounds. But when he returned to the pastures, he saw that all the boys and cows were still there. For Lord Krishna had created them all again. When Brahma saw this mystic power of Krishna's, he admitted defeat and offered prayers to the Lord, addressing him as the proprietor and seer of everything in the creation and as the supersoul who is within each and every living entity and is dear to all. That Lord Krishna is Narayan, the father of Brahma, because Lord Krishna's plenary expansion, Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, after placing himself on the Garbha ocean, created Brahma from his own body. Mahavishnu in the causal ocean and Kshirodakasaya Vishnu, the super soul in everyone's heart, are also transcendental expansions of the supreme truth. So here, a very nice verse has been described that you are my father, Krishna. Brahma is telling Krishna, you are the Mahanarayan, you are the Mood Narayan. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripasamudibhacha. Paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. So next time we'll begin from the verse number 230. Adi Leela, second chapter, 30th verse will begin next time. Actually, this was the 30th verse only, and we'll again discuss this little bit elaborately next time from different scriptures. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. Anybody has any questions?
Yes, please ask.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. I think there's questions. So we'll move on with the program with Ananga Mohan Prabhu with Jai Diwani. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Ananga Mohan Prabhu.
Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radha Vinoda Bihari Ji Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Parashta Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vishnu Deti Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Parashta Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishto Vishnu Parashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Parashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Parashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. नित्यलीलप्रविष्टो विष्णुपदष्टुतरशता श्रीशीलभक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यलीलप्रविष्ट परम भगवत प्रवार श्रीशील गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्यलील प्रविष्ट श्रीशील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यलील प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौमा श्रीशील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। गौद्य वेदांत आचार्य श्री शील बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय। शील विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्रील नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभुत्राय की जय। श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भात रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल दास रघुनाथ सदगोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदादि श्री गौर प्रसाद वृंद की जय। नामचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम सको श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसती गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री अंतरद्वीप मायपुर सीमांत द्वीप गोद्रुमद्वीप मध्याद्वीप कोहलाद्वीप ऋतुद्वीप जाह्नवीद्वीप मोद्रद्वीप रुद्रद्वीप पद्मकार श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादश वनात्मका श्री व्रजमंडल की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देव की जय। पौर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंहदेव की जय। भक्त प्रवार श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शारदाम की जय। चार संप्रदाय की जय। चाराचार्य की जय। अकर्मराज श्री चैतन्य मात की जय। श्री केशव जी गौड़िया मात होतमात समूह की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सामगात भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you, Ananga Mohan Prabhu. Thank you, Marj, for joining us today. And we'll see you all tomorrow for Java Dharma class at 8 p.m. India time. So thank you all for joining.
Tomorrow is Java Dharma.
Mara?
Tomorrow is Saturday, right?
Sorry, yes, sorry. We see you all tomorrow for Maharaj's class.
Okay.
Sorry.
No
Krishna
problem.
doesn't. Vanchika Patsivya Kripa Sindhu
Thank you.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
all on
Thank you,
Sunday
Hanuman
for
Prabhu.
Bhagavad Gita class. Hare Krishna.
Hanuman Prabhu ki jai. All Vaishnavas ki jai. Dandavat. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.